All right, here we go. And I do believe we're going to go live here in a minute. All right, I do think we're going to be live here. And hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. You could be watching us on a replay from other social medias or live here on my personal page, which I will send to a Facebook group of Reiki Studio. Reiki Studio was created by me to empower other Reiki practitioners of all lineages to promote their wellness, to connect to each other, and amplify the Reiki source. Reiki is a Japanese technique to empower us, to give us that extra life energy, to help us and bring harmony to our day. So, with that said, we're going to go ahead and chant the Reiki principles. And please follow us and chant with us. Put your hands in Gasho and repeat these words after us. Ready, Karen?
Ready?
All right. Kyo daki wa ikaruna shimpai suna kachuste. Kyo daki wa ikaruna shimpai suna kachuste. Kyo hakame ituni susutuni.
Kyo dake wa ikaruna shinpai suna kansha shite kyo hageme hito ni shinsetsu ni.
Kyo daki wa ikaruna shimpai suna kachuste. Kyo hagame hitoni shinsutsu ni. Kyo
Kyo dake wa ikaruna shinpai suna
kachuste. Kyo hagame hitoni
hito ni shinsetsu ni.
Kyo daki wa ikaruna shimpai suna conscious day kyo hagame.
Kyo hageme hito ni shinsetsu ni.
Kyo daki wa ikaruna shimpai suna conscious day kyo
hageme hito ni shinsetsu ni.
Kyo daki wa ikaruna.
Shinpai suna gansha shite gyo hageme hito ni shinsetsu ni.
Ooh.
That good?
Oh, I hope so.
I feel better.
I do too. That is just wonderful. So hopefully you guys can hear it on the other side. And we're going to talk about these principles of Reiki and what it can do for you in everyday life. And that's how we got here is that I went to me and my friend Karen Caig. We're both licensed teachers for the International Center Reiki Training. And we have a whole bunch of other modalities behind our bars. But we got together and we were like, boy, it'd be nice to shine some light out for others. This is a really, hard time for a lot of people, huh, Karen?
Yeah, it's like shine some light for ourselves. But no, seriously, Kathy and I were talking Monday, I guess it was Monday, and we were having a discussion about how sometimes when it seems like the darkness is overwhelming, and I'm in Ecuador, so it's not just the United States, it's everywhere. There's just like a heaviness. And so we were talking about how grateful we are to have Reiki and how we still, even as Reiki masters who have been practicing for years, we have to remind ourselves that we can bring ourselves to center and live a better life just through practicing these Reiki principles. And Kathy and I both like to use them. The reason we started chanting them at the beginning in Japanese is because just the vibration of of those principles in Japanese helps to ground, center, and clear. Right, Kathy?
Yeah. Yeah. And we've learned this through our time with the principles. To me, the principles is Reiki. All these things that we're supposed to do, is just for today, just for today. What do
Yeah.
we do? Just for today, we do not anger. Right?
Yep.
I
So
mean,
that's a good start.
right, it's a good start to start out, right? So it's like, just for today, we do not anger. I mean, what does angry do for you? I mean, you don't want to suppress it, but you want to make sure that when you do have it, what is going on the underline, to
Yeah,
let that.
why is this triggering me so much? So the Reiki principles will always bring you back to your own center, to like why am I so triggered by this? How can I release this
Right.
so that you can see clearly?
Right.
And also just that, like Kathy said, just for today. That's what Monday I said, oh, I said, we were built for this. This is our time. This is why we trained in Reiki. This is what we are here to do. We are here to hold the light. And we can't forget that, oh yeah, we have magic hands because we do. We forget. Like I am a channel for light. We all are, even if you're not a Reiki practitioner, you always have a choice
We're
to,
all healers. We all have the
we're
light.
all healers. Yes.
It's just that Reiki empowers us and fuels us so we become a little brighter. We become a little clearer so we can show our authentic nature, you know? And like we can use our hands, our eyes, our intentions,
Breath.
our breath, all those skills that we learned in Reiki 1 and Reiki 2. This Karen was right. That's what hit me. I was like, yes, let's go ahead. I'll get online. It's because this is what we're here to do. We're here to empower people's spaces so they can harmonize and shine brighter. And so that becomes contagious. So that becomes that they would want to empower somebody else's light. You know,
Right.
it's kind of like yesterday, I was getting rid of a fish tank. And this guy comes, he was going to give me, it was for $40. And this guy comes and he says, I'm going to give you $25. Okay. And I said, okay. And he comes and I said, well, you know what? It's snowing. If you just pick up this thing, got a tank, you can have it for free. He comes and picks it up and he says, here's the $25. And I said, no, I want you to have it. Go buy whatever you're going to do with the tank and have fun with it. He smiled at me. His light brightened up and he was like, are you kidding? Thanks. It's the same kind of gesture, it's like give it to the person behind you or whatever kind of deal. And it becomes contagious. I hope there's someday that he will like either open a door for somebody when they need it or, do whatever he can do. It's not all about money, but it's our acts. And as
Right.
Reiki practitioners, our acts are so important because we can refuel and amplify our acts, right?
Right.
you know,
But
and
you
we,
can't do that if you're in a place, if you're coming from a place of anger.
right,
So,
exactly,
and there's plenty to be angry about. I mean, if you're looking for it, you're going to find it.
exactly.
So I think that maybe that's why he starts with the, just for today. First of all, you've got to come into the moment. That's going to keep you here, not worrying about tomorrow, what's going to happen, or what happened yesterday, but just for today. You're like, I may be mad as hell tomorrow. I don't know, but just for today, I'm not going. I'm going to be. I love the way Karen Harrison puts it. She says she's very all about conscious language. So she doesn't say, do not anger. She says, just for today, I am harmonious and accepting.
There you go,
Yeah.
right?
So I'm going to accept, but that kind of goes like into a serenity prayer. You're like, you accept the things you can't change, change the things you can. So each little principle really gives you plenty to chew on.
And it
Like, okay,
honors your temple. It honors you. If you keep
yeah,
anchoring you, you're going to start developing issues within yourself.
yep.
I know that because the next one is do not worry.
That's the one I struggle with.
Right? So that caught me when I was younger a lot, and I have created some things on me. You know what I mean? My gut issues and things like that. Worry, all about worry. And so now I'm working with Reiki to work with that. We're
Yeah,
always to drop things so easily. I mean, we're telling you these principles, easily said, hard to be done, but that's what we are. We are practitioners. We are here to work on those principles, to work on them every day and give us grace for that.
yeah. And even masters, we need reminders. We need to remind each other. And that's why we're here talking to you that, yeah, just for today, do not worry. And so what I've learned to do, and I'm better at it, is whenever I start, because I have a really overactive imagination, when I start imagining all the horrible things that can go wrong, I stop myself and say, okay, instead of worrying about this could happen and then that might happen and then this and that, is I give myself Reiki, and instead I send Reiki to what I want, not what I don't want. Use Reiki and send Reiki to a vision of what you do want, the peace that we do want,
Yep.
how we do want things to work. So just make that little flip.
Yep.
Then you're not worrying, you're manifesting.
You're manifest. That's the next thing. Grateful. When you feel grateful, your heart center's open. And when your heart center's open, you can start launching out your manifestations, and that's at least how I manifest.
Manifesting.
Manifest, not my words, but actions, is that you're open. Your heart center's open. You are grateful. Try to feel grateful without your heart center not being open. It just doesn't happen. So,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's an act that helps you open up. That,
The other day, I guess it was Tuesday, I because I write 3 pages, at least 3 pages every morning in my journal. And like a page and a half was just listing things I was grateful for because I could not get out of my head. So just make a list. Start listing, like, I'm grateful for this comforter. I'm grateful for these cats. I'm grateful that I have a vacuum to suck this cat hair up off my bed. Whatever. Just think of all the things and once it just shifts you, you give yourself Reiki, and then that helps shift you because you got to get Reiki has nothing to do with your mind, I mean, you got to get out of your mind and into more your your energy centers, yeah,
yeah.
gratitude.
Because
Yeah.
that brings awareness. If you start feeling grateful for certain things, like Karen said, writing down a list, your perception changes throughout your day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because then you think, well, there's a lot of stuff going right.
exactly. It helps you. It helps you.
Yeah.
And do good work, make that list.
Oh, forgive me.
Yo, Hagame. Yeah, do
Um,
work. If you do, I don't know how you feel, Karen, but when I feel like I done something like yes, I am good with this. I did some good work today. I feel accomplished. I feel satisfied. I feel like, hey, this is a good day. Instead of being
yeah,
stuck at something and feeling mucky at the end of the day.
yeah. And sometimes it's just get up and wash the dishes, maybe because you get stuck. It's so easy to get stuck. And I know when, especially when you're just surrounded by, I love social media, but sometimes I have to get away from it,
Right.
because, living in Ecuador, I can kind of keep myself, there's a little bit of a barrier between everything that's going on, but sometimes just like, okay, I have to step away from this. And what can I do? I'm going to wash the dishes, sort of the chop wood, carry water stuff. I'm going to clean the cat box. I'm going to do something. And it means that, go hugging me, but it can also mean like working on yourself.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like you could be dancing and be like, "Oh, I did a great whatever. I did a
I
great
learned how to do a
job.
salsa
And
step.
I went out and exercised a little bit today. That's great work. That's working on yourself. That's what it all means. It's not like you're going to a 9 to 5 job and doing things.
Right.
It's that give yourself a pat on the back. You
Yeah,
did
which kind of segues into the last one. Be kind. You know,
be kind.
the hito ni shinsetsu ni. Be kind to yourself. I had to add that in there. Be kind to yourself and others, every living being,
Every
starting with
Yep. And as you be kind, that energy that you put out there comes back to you. And you start getting others being kind to you a little more.
yeah. So it's just a way to bring yourself to center
Yep.
and turn on your Reiki, let your Reiki flow, just take some deep breaths and ground and center, and then move forward with those 5 Reiki principles in
Right.
your heart.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're
So,
important. I mean, this is why we get taught these. This is to me is Reiki.
mhm.
It's very, very important.
And like she said, it sounds easy, but it's not. That's why we were talking about it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but this is what we're built for. And that's the main message
Yeah.
that we wanted to give you, is that if you have been attuned to Reiki, it's like this is your clarion call. And it doesn't mean that you're necessarily sending it to everybody. That's the other thing. She's like, you think like, man, you need some Reiki, no. Yeah, they probably do, but who else needs it? You. So do it to yourself.
And if you
If it,
didn't have never practiced Reiki and you're like, what is this Reiki stuff? I had a new person, a new client last night come in and they were kind of young and and uh and I gave them Reiki and they fell asleep. It's very warm usually and gentle. And even if you're having an online session, it still feels very warm and gentle, kind of deal. And they've drifted off to sleep and they felt very, very good. And they weren't in a dark spot afterwards because it's like a shining light just refueling you. And so it empowers whatever you need to do. So maybe hopefully they wake up in the morning and they do a couple things of self-care to themselves before they start doing what they need to do the rest of the work in the workday. You know, it's little things, and Reiki helps us do this. And that's one of the reasons why I love Reiki. It empowers us
yeah.
and it
Speaking
doesn't
of,
judge. And speaking of
one thing, speaking of empowering you, Kathy and I both belong to the Holy Fire lineage. And the four main qualities of holy fire specifically are purification, which we need. That's like we need to clear. Uh, Healing, like moving into, and everybody has different things that they need to heal. And the third is empowerment. And the fourth is guidance. And we have a little experience that we do in our classes, which we do it in the master class, but we can do experiences, holy fire healing experiences with different intentions. And so what we would like to do today is a short holy fire healing experience for all of you. You can watch this on the replay. You'll still get the energy. Um, and the intention for this holy fire healing experience is called Empowered in the River of Peace experience. And my intention is to clear you of whatever you're carrying around that you need to put down. You need to just let it go, just let it float away, just like you're putting it into a river and it's just going to float away. The second part is to empower you, to remind you that you you are a being of light and you get to choose how, if you're going to shine it, how much you're going to shine it, when you're going to shine it. And so this experience, the way we do these is it's a short guided meditation. So if you're watching this live, you can just kick back in your chair, close your eyes, relax. I'm going to do a guided meditation. I'm going to tell you about where we're going, and then I'm going to lead you there. And then I'm going to be quiet for about 10 minutes, just kind of a shortened version, about 10 minutes. And during that 10 minutes, when I'm quiet, you just sit there and receive. You will experience different things. Some people are really visual and they have really visual experiences. Other people slip it, we call it slip into the gap. You just kind of get really relaxed. You're doing it. It's like I was talking, and then the next thing you know, I'm saying, come back. Some people do that. Some people have tingling or feelings in their body. Some people twitch. And if you find yourself, I'm a twitcher. When I release like energetic knots, my fingers will go boom, boom, so you may twitch. I don't know. But my intention is that you receive this if you want it. Reiki respects free will. So if you have any doubts, like, I'm not sure, is this weird? I shouldn't be doing this. It's not going to go. It won't go to you. So if you are open to release, in fact, just take a moment and think about, close your eyes and feel in your body where you might have some tension. I'll bet I carry all my tension in my jaw, neck, throat, shoulders. So just start with some deep breaths in through your nose. I'm going to go ahead and start. Out through your mouth. Deep belly breaths. Feel your belly rise when you inhale. And nobody can hear you, so you can just go and relax. And the longer I talk, the more relaxed you're going to be. So to prepare you for the Empowered in the River of Peace experience, I would like for you to imagine this place that we're going to. We're going to the river of peace. It's a special river that flows down from the highest heavens. It comes down from a sacred mountain range and then down to us. The water in the river of peace is crystal clear, and it has a nice warm temperature, warm, soothing. And this water contains all the healing frequencies you need on every level of your being. Because this is the river of peace, if you get into this water, you can breathe underwater. And when you breathe in, they flow through you, healing and blessing you, or they may flow through you on their own. You may also see flames underwater and on the surface. And if you do, know that these are the living flames of the holy fire, which do not burn, but they're soothing, purifying, healing, guiding, and empowering. So let's go and visit this river now. Continue deep, slow breathing. And I want you to imagine it's a beautiful sunny day. And imagine you're walking through a beautiful forest. As you breathe into yourself, imagine you're breathing in the life essence of the forest. And with each step you take, imagine the energies of the earth are flowing up through the bottoms of your feet. As you walk along, allow yourself to experience the trees, the plants, flowers, feel the grass. Allow yourself to merge with the life and the harmony and the peace of the forest. As you continue to walk along, you notice that up ahead it's getting lighter, and you realize you're coming to the edge of the forest. As you leave the forest, you see before you the beautiful river of peace I told you about. There are beautiful flowers growing along the riverbank, and there's a path following alongside the river. Follow the path alongside the river. Eventually, you come to a place where you can easily enter the water. And you pause at the water's edge and realize that this river contains the life energy that flows through all living things. You drink from the river of peace and feel the essence of life flow through you. You realize you are one with all living things. And this gives you a sense of belonging. Now you enter the water completely. Feel the water flowing around you, filling you with feelings of peace and safety and love. The river of peace is guiding you now. Allow the river of peace to guide you as I leave you in silence. You can continue with your experience for as long as you feel guided to do so. And whenever you're ready, take a couple of deep breaths. Bring your awareness back to your eyes. And slowly open your eyes and come back. If you had any insights or any experience you want to remember, take a moment to jot those down. And Kathy and I want you to remember that you have the power to stop, breathe, activate your Reiki if you have it, and stay in the present moment and return to a relaxed state and act out of a place of love and compassion as we move through difficult times. And we thank you for joining us today.
Yes, we do. We thank you for joining us. Much love.